welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This video is going to be a state of the collection video. The last one I did was around, I think, 2020 in December. As you can see, it is kind of getting out of control, so I do need to sell some of these watches. Before I do that, I thought I'd do this video. So it's going to be in two parts. The first part will be just my Seiko collection, and the second part will be micro brands, homages and modded watches. So I hope you guys are looking forward to this, and I will break this down for you guys, give you just a brief couple of sentences on each watch and why I enjoy it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's get into it. So let's start the video off, and I'll be covering in this first part of the video just my Seiko collection. Let's start off with the quartz, slightly categorize them. Now these two, of course, are not Seikos. They are Emporio Armani fashion watches. So why are these here? This is what effectively started my watch collection journey. Of course, these are detested amongst watch collectors, and I know why. For those of you guys that don't know why, it's because, you know what, they charge silly money for, you know, really poor, cheap £3.50 movements, and that is what they are. You know, however, I didn't know anything about watches. I really wasn't into watches, so this was bought to me as a wedding present. It was a gift, and then I wore it for maybe 2 to 3 years, at which point it stopped working. So I wanted to get it fixed. Somebody quoted me £80. I thought, yeah, you forget that. I searched the movement online on eBay, and I found the movement cost £2.50. I thought, wow, that's a bit of a skank, isn't it? That's a bit of a rob. So end up getting the movement, end up fixing it because it's just, you know, sentimental. So I can't get rid of this due to that fact. Then I moved on to one of these, and this is before I knew about watches. And then I bought this, you know, I liked this for a while, and then shortly after this I started getting Seikos, chronographs, quartz. You know, that is how my watch journey started. And then I think I had my first auto within a few months, and then, you know, here we are, a couple of years later, YouTube channel, homage watches, just that's how it started. I mean, it started snowballing really quick. So that is the only significance these two watches have, so I'll put them away. And obviously, needless to say, I don't actually wear them anymore, but you know, they've got to stay because they represent something. So let's break it down. Now, my quartz watches predominantly are all chronographs, and that is what I like. You know, I do like, when it comes to quartz, just something, you know, on the dial, something a bit more to look at. I'm a fan of these sporty chronograph watches, and especially with Seiko, I like the older stuff, so maybe 90s to mid 2000s. I think the quartz watches had a lot of character. So I'll start off with an aviator one here to my left. Prospex, solar powered. The solar powered watches on Seiko are incredible. The batteries last forever. The charge lasts 6 months at a time. Very nice watches. And what I liked about this era was, you know, the designs were fantastic. I mean, just look how just crazy that looks. I mean, there's just so much going on with it. You've got these pushers, which is actually my favorite thing about the watch. The second hand, you've got a jet, a fighter jet at the end, and you can just have a look. Click and just reset that. And if anyone wants to know the model numbers, the specific model numbers, please let me know in the comment section below. Just timestamp it, and I'll get you the information. So that one, then I've got my Mark 1 and Mark 2 Daytona homages. Very classic. I love the retro look, the vintage look. Again, chronograph. Compare Seiko's chronographs now, and compared to these, they had so much character back then, and it just looks absolutely stunning. Very retro, very vintage, and I just love the color combination. Very easy to read as well. Gorgeous watches. I'd wear these a bit more often than the others. Bring the third one in, again, aviator one, pilot style watch, but this is packed full of features. You've got this lovely stopwatch style pusher here. Look at the crown. Just look how well that crown's been made. Look at the shape and how it fits into the case. Then you've got the B pusher at the bottom, and you also got an inner rotating bezel. So packed full of features. Really nice watch. A bit on the big side. I think it's maybe a 44, 45, if not bigger. And then of course the Flighty, the Flightmaster. I think what, a year and a half ago, 2 years, the SKX phenomenon happened to these, where, you know, because they were discontinued, the prices just started getting absolutely ridiculous. Amazing watch though, really nice watch, great dimensions. That crystal just really sets it off. I mean, I've got individual reviews on most of these watches. I mean, going back about a year and a half ago or a year ago. So if you are interested, just go through the videos and you can see full reviews on these. But love the color on it. Love how it fits. It's very, very iconic watch from Seiko. Now, moving on to a kinetic quartz movement. This is my Seiko BFK in the black and coke bezel. Problem with this, the actual capacitor is finished now. I just haven't worn it. It's quite difficult to maintain these watches, especially if you've got a fairly large collection. And what I need to do is just basically replace the capacitor on this. But right now, because it is quite rare, I just like to have it sitting in the collection. This was the latest quartz addition to my collection. It's a solar powered diver, 200 meters, and you know they have made countless variants of these, and I've had, I think, most of the common ones, but you know, I went with this black with yellow on the stainless steel case. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the bracelet with it, but just look at some of the features. You know, drill lugs, very nice polishing, very nice finishing on the case, really nice screw down pushers. It's got a screw down crown, official dive watch. I think this is probably one of the best from Seiko quartz dive watches that you can get. A very good, solid, solar powered quartz movement, and very, very accurate indeed. So I did miss one, and I recently done a wrist shot of this as well in one of the videos. So this is the Seiko perpetual calendar. I love this watch. It's just so much going on, so many functions, and it is absolutely mesmerizing the way everything moves. It tracks date, time, month. Of course, it also has a inbuilt calendar dated to the year 2100. So fantastic piece of kit just on that aspect of it, and how everything just moves and all the hands whizzing around. I think it's a spectacular watch to look at. Again, full of features, not for everyone of course, but considering the price, fantastic value for money. So now let's get into the automatic watches, and you know, as any Seiko collector, I think no Seiko collection is complete without these three watches. So we've got the SKX 007, SKX 13 and the SKX 31. I think they do a few versions, 55, 33, whatever. So this one came out, I think, at the same time as these possibly. So this is called the SKX 33, and it is a sub homage. You got a 40mm case diameter, nice lug to lug, and of course I have modified this, put in S crown, I've changed the dial and hands, and I've put the NH36 movement upgrade in here. Comes with the original oyster style bracelet, which is, it's not the best of course, but you know what, I wear this watch quite regular. It fits just so well, and it's a very nice watch to have. I think anyone looking on eBay secondhand, they are starting to creep up, but you can get them cheap as well. I recently bought one for around 120, so they are available. You just got to keep looking. Seiko SKX 007, we all know what they are. Fantastic watches. I mean, what, 22, 25-year-old watches. Until this day, they're very popular. This is the watch that is responsible for, if anything, starting the whole homage scene, because it was these watches that were sought after, where people wanted to modify them, and that is where a group of Chinese watch enthusiasts got together and they started modifying these watches, and that quickly just escalated into what we see today with the homage side of things. This watch is actually responsible for a lot of that, so I think it is a very significant watch. You know, solid value for money watch, but you know, when that whole discontinue thing happened, they were going at ridiculous prices, up to £400 brand new, which is absolutely ridiculous, right, considering the watch was just basic, in all honesty. And I actually wasn't a big fan of these watches when they first come out. I thought they were a bit ugly, but you know, again, collection for a collection purpose, it is a must-have. Then that takes us to the SKX 13, you know, the 38mm diver. Again, same story to the SKX 007, very iconic. I have modified this with the NH36 movement, upgraded the crown, changed the crystal to sapphire, and put in a new aluminium bezel insert. This is one of my refurb models. As you can see, the dial is quite, you know, dated. It's been faded, so I changed the movement to the NH36 as well.
lovely watch. It is a good size, and of course this is what we find a lot of watches or a lot of watch collectors yearning for. They want these 38mm cases, so this is a must-have in any Seiko collection. So next up, we've got Seiko's entry-level divers, and I don't know if the one at the end can be considered mid, but to me, it's still an entry-level diver. So let's start off with the Samurai. The Samurai for me is one of my favorite Seiko watches, hands down. I just love the case, and this is why I think I am a Seiko fanboy. You know, and we're not talking about the new corporate attitude, the new corporate Seiko. I mean, look at the case shape. Very, very unique. You know, Seiko come out with incredible cases, incredible watches. You know, well, should I say they used to. Each time I wear it, it just makes you fall back in love with the watch. Really nice case, amazing fit, and it just looks stunning. What can you say? You know, in terms of even it's an entry level diver, but this can keep up with a lot of watches out there. So another variant now with the Samurai, again, they've got a lot of variants on there, a lot of special editions, a few limited editions as well. They've got some Zimby editions. So, and that's good to keep this watch going. And this is my STO version as well. So I bought this not long after I bought that. Really nice, stunning, stunning look. And Seiko's dial game, I've said it before, is really, really up there. And now they've also got the new King Seikos, the Manta Ray Samurais, the King Samurai, sorry. It's endless the amount of variants I can get. So I think the turtles, when it comes to Seikos, are very, very iconic. Very significant. We're going back to the 6309 turtle that had such a long run as well as a diver. So this was the reissue, the SRP 777, which came in black. And then they did STO versions. Again, they follow the same suit with the Samurais, where you've got just so many versions of these. I think every version is good, you know, from the paddies to the limited editions to the special editions. And this one has been modified with a sapphire crystal, a coin edge black bezel, and that's it, I believe. In hands, sorry, yes, I did change the hands on this. So this was my mod watch. I done a video on this recently. I did end up smashing this watch up quite a bit, but turtle, such a nice case, so well made, and the fit on it is just perfect. And then I think my latest one that I did, I don't think I've even reviewed this yet. So this is the Manta Ray King Turtle Edition, and amazing upgrades. Yeah, you know, better bezel. They've gone for a sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert. I mean, there's a lot of issues in terms of price, etc. You know, people arguably they came out a little bit too expensive, around the £550 mark, which, as you know, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you can get entry level Swiss watch. But you know, I've never paid full retail for any of my watches. You know, it's all about smart shopping as well. So most of the watches, about 95%, are all secondhand. And you know, it is down to, I think, the consumers that really overinflate Seiko on the secondhand market. Some of the secondhand stuff is not far off brand new. Some of them are more than brand new. It doesn't make sense anymore on eBay. You know, however, you can come across bargains. You know, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I started collecting, there were a lot more about, a lot cheaper secondhand watches about. But as of late, it seems like people are just put the price up on everything, especially when something has discontinued. But going back to this watch, I think it just looks amazing. The dial really does set it off. The build quality is good. Alignment, you know, we know the common issues with Seiko, so let's leave that alone. Other than that, functionality wise, I think everything works as it should. The bezel's nice, the movement's okay out the box, and as mentioned, the dial is the main point of this watch. So next up, some more classics from Seiko. The Monster, of course. I've had a few Gen 1 Monsters. I've never had any Gen 3s. I've not had the new Gen 4. I went back and I bought these just recently, the Gen 2. So I've managed to get a black one and an orange one. Fantastic watches, very iconic. You know, there's not much I need to say about them. And if you're a Seiko fan like me, you know they are just so many limited editions. You know, not all of them look nice as well, but I think this is what the Monster does. It's got a very large cult following, and I think with most people the story is the same. On the first impressions, it looks ugly as anything. But then the more you look at it, it just appeals to you so much, where, you know, you need to have one of these. Incredible watches, absolutely. But yeah, they are overinflated. The prices, £1,500 some of these limited editions go for. And if you remove all the everything around it and just for the watch, honestly, £1,500, you can get a hell of a lot of watches. Got these at a very good price, I have to say, even with the current price going on these. Next up, the Seiko Alpinist. I did like a 3-part video on this about a year and a bit ago, where I looked at all the Alpinists that had come out. There's again a lot of history with Seiko, and this is why a lot of people fanboy these watches, because back when they were very affordable, there was such a main part to the watch game when they came out. And it's a well-known fact that when Seiko came out, when they brought the quartz out, it really put a lot of Swiss watches literally on their backs. So they had to do a lot to keep up. So they were a game changer, and they are very significant in the watch collecting hobby. Going back to the dive watches, going back to all the numerous watches they've done, and they've always maintained this whole value for money ethos, and for the the common working class man. However, I think the problem lies in where people are disillusioned with it now, or estranged to it, is the fact that they've gone very, very corporate, and they know they can probably charge a lot more. So now most Seiko watches, they're all reissues, most of them are, and they're all over 600, right? The 6R35 movement, sapphire, ceramic, etc. So crazy prices. Some of them £800-900 reissues, £1,000. But it is what it is, and that's why I haven't really been looking at the newer Seikos. But saying that, the Alpinist, very nice. There is one watch I am missing, is the S.O.T.C Now, I was very fortunate about a year ago to get a S.O.T.C for literally around 120, but they were only going for 180s, then 220s. Now I've seen S.O.T.C sell on eBay for £700-800, which is absolutely ridiculous. The reason I sold it is I just didn't like it. I think close-up macro shots, that watch is stunning, but when you put it on wrist, it's just so damn plain. It just really wasn't for me. But yeah. So we are nearly done. These were my latest editions, I believe. The baby tuna, or as people call it, shrouded monster. I went for the yellowfin, and I also went for I think it's limited edition, this whole frost dial. My favorite watches in my collection. I love them. I love how they sit. I love how they fit. I just really like everything about them. So really, really happy with these purchases, and they are my go-to watches. Only thing which is a bit of an ache is the whole date. There should have been just a date at 3, 4, whatever, but the date, setting time just becomes just a little bit longer, doesn't it? But yeah, I would have preferred not so much of the dial missing, because again, when you got a dial like this, you want to see dial, you don't want to see cutouts. But it is a bit of give and take with Seiko. Every Seiko fan will tell you that. But incredible watches, very well made. Still entry though, still NH35 movements, NH36, 4R36 movements, but it's just about, everything else around it. Fantastic. So the last two of the Seiko collection now, these are, I think, my most dressiest watches that I have. I've got the Presage Cocktail. This has featured on the channel quite a bit. Stunning watch. I love all the versions of this. There's so many different versions of this. They've made some newer ones, look incredible. They also have some limited edition, special edition frost styles as well. Again, just so many variants on these watches. You can get one, very, very nice watch to look at. And then I've got this Premier open heart movement watch. Really nice watch, actually. I did really, really enjoy it. I wanted it as soon as I saw it. However, I did a video on this as well, and it turns out this is a Franken watch, this particular model, but everything's original on it, which does not make sense. The movement's genuine, the dial is genuine, everything's genuine, but there's a few discrepancies which I'm not going to go into now, but they are covered in the video. But still, I do enjoy this very rarely, time to time, but just, it's okay. You got to be in the mood to wear this. So there you have it. That is my Seiko collection done. The first part of the video has been done now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a few comments last to finish it off. People always complain Seiko's expensive, but you know what? It's us, the consumers, that are making them expensive on the second-hand market. I haven't paid any more than these watches are worth, in my opinion. I've not paid the ridiculous prices. It's just all about being patient. Just keep looking. Although in the last few months, eBay has just gone so ridiculous. If you're in the UK, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And even in Japan now, the Japanese market on the second hand, the watches have gone up. So, you know, if you can find some of these old Seikos, you can find a bargain. You know, they are a strong part of the watch collecting hobby because of what they stand for and what they show. But yeah, this is my Seiko collection here now. And the next video will be covering micro brands, homage watches, and modded watches. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.